Senator Colbeck.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You know, about almost 4 years ago, state elected officials said that we can't fix the roads without a tax increase. I worked hard to show how to fix the roads by reducing expenses in other budget areas, by reprioritizing existing revenue, and even introduced alternative revenue sources that leverage existing state assets to generate non-tax revenue. Then state elected officials said, we can't fix the roads without cutting schools and public safety. Well, I showed them how to fix the roads by reallocating 100% of the $356 million in new general fund dollars from the May 5th consensus revenue estimate, by reallocating the $214 million from the Budget Stabilization Fund that is above and beyond the $400 million balance needed to safeguard our $10 billion general fund budget from the historic 4% variation between forecast and actual figures, and by promoting broad-based economic development rather than targeted friends and family economic development by reallocating $179 million from the Michigan Strategic Fund. That's just for starters, just 3 easy pickings. So, then they said...
If I could, I'm sorry, Senator Colbeck, if I could please ask that the noise level be reduced in the room, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Senator Colbeck.
Then they said, state elected officials said, we can't find a solution that would have enough votes in both chambers that doesn't feature a tax increase. Well, my friends, in case you haven't noticed, we seem to be having a little bit of trouble finding a solution that does feature a tax increase. So having said that, I have showed them that we already have a solution supported by both chambers. In June, the House passed a roads plan that featured $119 million in new taxes and $700 million from existing funds. In July, the Senate passed a road plan that featured $800 million in new taxes and $700 million in existing funds. The common denominator is $700 million in reprioritized existing funds. That is only $300 million more than proposed in our current budget. We only have one missing ingredient to get to a sustainable road solution: building roads that last. Now, who would oppose a commitment to building higher quality roads? If we were to couple the existing approval by both chambers to commit $700 million in existing funds with a commitment to build roads that last longer, voila, we have a sustainable road solution, all without raising taxes. This is not rocket science. It does beg the question, though, why would anyone still insist that we need to increase taxes for our roads? It is my quest for a thoughtful answer to this question that drove me to issue my debate challenge last week on my 50th birthday. Since I'm acutely aware of how well folks pay attention to floor statements, I followed up my floor statement with a formal letter to the office of each state elected official citing a deadline of 5 p.m. on Wednesday, October 14th. That's tomorrow. At this moment, no state elected official has accepted this challenge. This begs another question. Why has nobody accepted this challenge? After all, according to some, it's common knowledge that we need to increase taxes. If it is common knowledge, it should be pretty darn easy to make your case in a public debate. So why has no one accepted this challenge? Some have dismissed it as purely a PR stunt. Oh yeah, you know me, there's nothing like a spreadsheet-toting aerospace engineer like myself likes than TV cameras and microphones. Others have insinuated that I'm not serious about finding a real solution to our roads. Anyone who claims this has not been paying attention or is simply attempting to marginalize my perspective and the perspective of 1,404,000 voters that said no to another tax increase-driven solution called Proposal 1. Others choose simply to ignore the challenge as they have ignored the solutions that I proposed over the past 3 years. What they haven't considered is this: I'm seeking the truth. And what they haven't considered is that I'm tired of politics as usual solutions that ignore the will of the people. What they haven't considered is I'm concerned that our citizens are losing respect for our system of government, and that I believe we could regain a modicum of this respect by starting to offer solutions to big problems that don't involve asking them for more money. How much respect do we earn when our fiscal policy resembles that of a teenager asking mom and dad for more money? So in the final analysis, we have a simple choice before us. Do we go with politics as usual and dig further into the wallets of our citizens? Or do we pass a solution that does not increase taxes and makes our citizens proud? My colleagues, in the words of President Reagan, it is a time for choosing. I'd like my remarks added to the journal, please.
Hearing no objection, the remarks will be printed in the journal.